Episode 3.
Champion Youth Podcast, our weekly space to hang out, connect, grow, encourage, have a freaking wild time. That's what we're here to do.
Hey, happy National Singleness Awareness Day.
Yes, so
or
good.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking about it is it's actually Happy National 50% Off Chocolate Day, right?
That's what it is? Is that a thing?
Well, everything's 50% off now.
Wow.
You know, for all the chocolate left over at Walgreens.
Wow.
So get your extra candy chocolate vibes going.
I absolutely hate chocolate. I don't know if you knew that
I
about
absolutely
me.
hate Valentine's Day. I don't know if you know that about me, but
Good thing it's not Valentine's Day today. We celebrated that yesterday. Or maybe if you're single, you didn't celebrate that.
maybe you didn't celebrate it. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm married and I didn't celebrate it.
Oh, nice.
So I celebrate.
Okay.
I
What's
celebrate
your
the love of my
Valentine's-
life
what's your-
every day.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those guys. So on Valentine's Day, I take the day off.
Okay. Gotcha. So that's the day to not
That's the
celebrate
day
your
to
love.
not give in to, you know, everyone else's expectations.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Anyways, but in
Imagine being single,
celebration-
am I right?
Am I right? Right?
You know? Good thing I'm not, because I got Warzone that keeps me happy.
Oh, it's so funny. And you have the little guy, right?
Oh yeah, LD.
Keeps you happy, right?
My
What'd you do for
kitten.
him?
What do you mean?
What, like, did you hang out?
We
Did
don't
you
have
get him,
like a romantic.
Did you get him a bone? Like,
Bone?
what do cats do? I have a dog,
Oh my
so just tell
gosh.
me what's going on. I got my dog a huge bone, like way
Wow.
too big.
Okay.
And he almost
Do you-
choked on it.
Do dogs like chew like and swallow bones, or like do they?
Yeah, kind of. And
do they
I did
just,
hear
like-
someone, I think it was Andrea, yes, I did get my dog a present and not my wife. But that's because I don't celebrate. I'm in the doghouse for that one for sure. But
Should we just like ban Valentine's Day? Should we
I
just
think
like
we
put
should. I
a
think we
thing out
should.
there?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what is it called? Like I forget the.
a poll?
No, it's something. Anyways, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. A petition. I think.
Petition.
Yeah.
Sign
see,
the petition.
You guys literally don't know anything, okay? I came up with that word out of my own memory. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, so
Jokes,
funny. But
jokes
hey,
to the audience.
Since it is the day after Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
we're gonna have some fun today.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Did you watch Justin Bieber's live TikTok?
I didn't. That's terrible,
Aw,
right? I didn't.
man.
Should I go back? Can I
Oh
watch
my
it later? I
gosh!
didn't
Yeah,
watch
you can
it.
find it on YouTube probably,
Okay,
but
I'm gonna watch it today.
Yeah.
Like
I
I'm
mean,
gonna do it today.
Okay.
And then I'll post about how I feel about
Promise?
it. I promise. I'm gonna watch it and I'm
Dude,
gonna post about
I
it.
watched it and oh my gosh, mind blown. Like
Okay.
actually, it was so good. He had this like this R&B band. I can't even describe it, in this garage, and there was just like art everywhere. It was live. He was singing live. He sang his album Journals, which is from like 2013 or something like that, and he's never performed that album before.
Wow.
Maybe not 2013, maybe 2014, 15. I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
remember. But that's my favorite album.
But it was epic.
And he performed it, and it was so good. Kev, wasn't it so good? It was fire, he said.
Fire.
And
I love Kevin, by the way.
Love Kevin. Love
Kevin's
Kevin.
on sound. You can't see
one
Kevin.
of
He's
Justin
on
Bieber's songs. Okay, this is not a Justin Bieber podcast. I'm just a big fan.
yeah.
You know, and I just wanted to point out some things.
Okay.
Well, one thing really. One of his songs is titled "Confident." Okay, and it goes. Oh no no.
Ooh, sing it.
Oh no no.
Sing it now.
Okay. Anyways.
Break it down.
All right. But he says like she's confident. He's singing she's confident. Oh no no. And he goes, I'm down with it. So he's talking about this girl that's really confident, and that's what he's down for. And I think
Gotcha.
that kind of, stirs up some conversation around love and relationships. You know, and maybe I don't know this girl that he's talking about.
Okay.
You know, is it Selena? Is it Haley? Is it
Ooh,
some
yeah.
some random girl? He talks about this girl being foreign, having a passport, whatever. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But, the way I like to think of it is like, I think that if people, not just girls, but guys too, whatever, guys and girls, if we all as individuals could be confident, then we could, indulge in relationships for the right reason.
I like that.
Instead of being not confident and trying to jump into a relationship to gain confidence.
Wow.
Because he's saying she's confident, so I'm down with that.
Yeah,
She's confident on her own. And I just think maybe we could take a little lesson from JB, but
Lesson
also
from
AKA,
Justin
like
Bieber?
also from God,
Yeah, for sure.
That
First
you
and
know, like,
foremost.
confidence is actually super attractive versus operating out of insecurity, trying to be someone you're not. We're getting there. We're getting deep already off the go.
Hey, confidence is key, guys. I mean, girls, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, confidence is key. I mean, look at me, look at Nelly, right? It doesn't make any sense. But here's the deal. When I met Nelly, she was dating someone else.
Okay.
And I was like, so confident. I was like, girl, dump him.
Girl?
Dump him.
Boy.
Dump him and hang with me. I got you.
Wow.
Like,
is that literally how it went?
No, seriously.
Wow.
It was right after we led worship together at a conference, and I walked up to her and I'm like, hey, like, let's do this. Like, dump him. I mean, there were more words than that, but like that confidence obviously was what was attractive. Wow. Not just this face. So
sure.
Don't agree too much, JD, guys.
We need like a throwback photo of you in this stage that you're talking about.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. I was straightening my hair at that point. So watch out. I had a flat iron.
Love that.
And yeah, so hey. Good.
Confidence.
I love it. I love the idea of confidence, though.
Yeah, to take this thought even further, like, or just to continue in this, you know, I think, like, you have to ask yourself, like, what's your source?
Yeah.
You know, like, who?
For sure.
Or maybe who's your source? Yep. Because, like, if you are looking to be in a relationship, and Valentine's Day is over, so, like, you know, we can kind of give up on the craze and all that stuff. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's there. You know, there is that desire to be with someone, to have someone that likes you and all that stuff, whatever. But you have to ask yourself, who is your source? Like, is that person that you are attracted to, are they the source of your happiness, of your peace, of your purpose, your, you know, like your future? Are they the source of that, or is God your source? You know, because God can provide us with peace, you know, grace, with love, with joy, with purpose, with meaning, with, you know, all that we could ask for. And if we are confident in that and him being our source, then any other relationship, anyone we come in contact with, that's just a blessing on top. That's not the foundation that we draw, you know, energy and need from. Does that make sense?
Dude, you're throwing down some fire today.
Dude,
I'm really digging your vibes.
I turned on the TikTok, the live, and it was hitting me as I was watching it. I was like, man, this is so good. And I was like, wait a second, like, we should talk about this.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. And what you're talking about there too, like if I relate it back to when I met Nelly as well, I can remember so vividly trying to figure out, like asking God, praying, like, is this right? Is this the right timing? Like, how will I know, God, if this is the right time, the right girl? And I remember just feeling the Holy Spirit speak to me that as long as this person is not the person I'm idolizing or consuming my thoughts or consuming my mind or what the person I'm living for to make decisions for, he's like, that is the right person for you. And I just knew it in that moment. Like, you find that balance. Like, obviously, like when you're really digging someone, like they're consuming your thoughts a little bit in some way. If they're not, that's a problem.
I think everyone can relate to that.
Everyone can relate to that. But like, where is that priority between your relationship with God and a human being?
Yeah.
Because your relationship with God has still got to be the center focus for this relationship to work, is what I learned.
Yeah.
Like, I knew this relationship would work and it was long lasting, and she was the person I was supposed to spend life with, because I was able to focus on my relationship with God and that not be interfered with.
Yeah. And guys, honestly, for everyone that's listening, like, it needs to be way more simple. Like, we gotta simplify relationships and not get so intense about, like, oh, well, it's either her or it's either him or it's Jesus. So, like, I don't know what to choose. Like, it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
And we're not even trying to, like, get mad at anyone that, you know, that's trying to, like, date someone. And we're not trying to shove, like, Jesus down people's throat.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to explain that, like, you know, you can preserve a lot of heartache and a lot of, like, insecurity and a lot of, like, self-doubt and concern and questioning and like loss of trust. You can preserve yourself from all of that if you're not demanding all of those things from a person rather than from God. And, you know, you have this saying all the time, or like you say this all the time, the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And just because something may be good, and that doesn't mean relationships are the right thing at the wrong time. It just means that the relationship you have with this one person might be really good, but might be the wrong time. And that doesn't mean, oh, wait till you're 21.
Yeah.
It means, hey, check your heart, prioritize like the right things in your heart. And then, like, you will be at a better place to where you can function in a relationship and be, like, 10 times stronger than you would have been if you didn't prioritize those things. That could be a week for someone. That could be a year for someone. Like, it varies. It just depends on how willing you are to really, like, establish your own grounding. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Timing is everything. So, I mean, obviously, one of the first things God says to human beings is it's not good for us to be alone. So God values relationship.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
God values, obviously, friendship and relationship and community, but God was saying that in the context of creating Eve and creating woman for man. So God values relationships, and but I think timing is the key to the right relationship.
Yeah.
It's not just like, are you allowed to, or, you know, what's, like you said, is it age? Is it when you can drive? Is it, you know, when you're old enough, you know, 18, when you graduate, 21, before college, after college, 30, like, it's not about that. It's the timing of, are you ready? Are you finding your confidence and your value and all the right things in God? Is your heart ready? Is your soul ready? And what does the Bible say about that? It says, guard your heart above all else. The biggest thing you've got to do in life, guard your heart. Why? Well, he answers the question there. Because out of it flows the issues of life. And let me tell you something. I apologize publicly to all the girls I hurt in my emo days and my younger years when my heart was not ready. I'm speaking from experience here, where I wounded some people because I was not ready. I was not guarding my heart. I was not guarding their hearts. And out of it flowed all the ish of my life, or the issues of my life. And when I met Nellie, I was able to guard my heart and realize, hey, now's the right time, because I am not going to explode my issues on this girl, right? Like, I think that's where that phrase comes from.
That's really cool.
The right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It might be right, but the timing is off.
Yeah. 100%. And I think on that note of heart, which you're talking about, which is so good, Pastor, spoke on an analogy the other day when we were at Moments on Wednesday, and he was talking about how your heart is like a garden. So your heart can't think for itself in terms of like filtering, like this is right, this is wrong. Your heart just naturally produces fruit based on the seeds that you're sowing in it. So like for everyone that's listening, you got to understand your heart. You have to understand how to work with your heart and how to, like, if your heart's playing tricks on you, all that stuff. Like, no, those are myths. Those are just like, that's just like, what we like to say. But reality is, we're allowing things to go into our hearts, or into our heart. Yeah. Like whether it's a thought, whether it's, things that we're looking to, things we're idolizing, like, I want to be like this, I'm comparing to this person. We're allowing those seeds to get planted in our heart, and then our heart is going to produce fruit, you know, and like lead us in a way that we're directing it. So ultimately we're in control, not our hearts. And so we have to be able to understand that. And then we just, all you have to do is really just plant the right seeds and filter, guard your heart. That's what that scripture is saying. Just guard your heart based on like the thoughts you have, based on the things you're looking at, like the people you're idolizing or comparing to. Just guard yourself on that and set expectations and prioritize your relationship with Jesus. And then out of that is going to flow wellness, pretty much. Yeah. So I don't want the connotation to be negative on relationships, because it's actually positive. Like it's awesome, and no matter how old you are, like if you're 14 and you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend, whatever, that's awesome. If you're 18 and you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, that's awesome. Like relationships are great. It just depends on how we're treating them and what we're expecting of them, and where our source is, like what we're gaining our our drive from, if that makes sense. So
no, it's huge. And the Bible also talks about how the heart is deceptive, and to be careful. And I like this phrase as well, that why we got to guard our hearts is because our hearts are deceptive. A lot of people will say, well, follow your heart. Listen, if you're 14 and you're thinking you're going to follow your heart and, run off with a girl and get married and like, look,
I
your
definitely
heart,
thought that
your
when
heart,
I was 14.
Your heart is deceiving you, like that's where we're not being negative on relationships, but guarding your heart, having boundaries, having the guardrails.
Yeah.
Right? When you're driving up a mountain, there's guardrails.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you go too fast or if you turn too wide, you're going to fly off the cliff and you're going to die. So they put guardrails there to protect you. So a lot of times parents will have guardrails for you, like an appropriate age or a curfew or different things. And see your parents as, whether you have the best parents in the world or not a great relationship with your parents, like your parents are there to put guardrails there to help you.
Yeah.
We're here. What we're doing today is just trying to throw out, hey, here's some guardrails that we found that helped us when we were younger. And like, we're not being negative about relationships, like you said. We're trying to just add some extra protection, some guardrails. Guard your heart.
And just exposing that it's common sense.
Yeah.
Like, we got to simplify it, because we have like this, we think like, oh, like I got to hide this, or I have to, like, I don't want people to know about this or whatever, because then no one can get me in trouble or whatever. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But when you have it in the wrong light or at the wrong time, or it's not healthy, that's when it's bad. And that's where people come in. That's when people give you advice. That's when authority steps in, whether it's parents or youth leaders or church like leaders, pastors. That's why we're stepping in, is like to help everyone, so that we don't let people go down an unhealthy path.
Yeah.
And one thing I was going to say, because you brought up parents, which I think is so crucial when it comes to the concept of relationships and just relationships in general, not just romantic relationships, but with relationships, like the way that you can have healthy relationships is by practicing good relationships with multiple people. Like,
that's really
so
cool.
and hear me out, I'm not saying like date 5 girls
Yeah,
or date
clarify
5
that for me.
boys. I'm not saying that. Please hear me on that. Maybe I thought that when I was 16. I don't know.
Thanks for clarifying.
But no, what I'm saying
I
is
think
that
you actually did
we
think
have
that.
no comment. We have natural relationships with our parents. We have natural relationships with any siblings or relatives in our lives. We have natural relationships with people around us, maybe in the same school as us, or neighbors, just like peers. Friends that we make. We have all access to any kind of relationship in our life, not just romantic ones. And so the way that we can make the romantic ones better and healthier is by utilizing the relationships that we've been given. So like, we actually have to invest and steward the relationships we have with our parents. Our parents shouldn't be enemies in our eyes.
Yeah.
They should not be people that we're like, oh, I hate you, or I can't wait to move out, or I'm so ungrateful, or not, sorry, like no one thinks I'm so ungrateful. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
So like, the reality is that you're ungrateful. You're not actually thinking it. You just like, you're mixed up, you're twisted.
Yeah.
Right? But we can't be thinking like, oh, like my parents are limiting me from this. They won't let me go out here. Like, they suck. Like, actually, that's a relationship that we can steward. And even at a young age, you do not have to be 18 plus in order to have a healthy conversation with your parents.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. Like, maybe we don't know that, but reality is, and I know I'm kind of going on a spiel, so I apologize.
No, this is good, JD.
But like, even as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, you can sit your parents down and you can be like, hey guys, like, I understand that you have authority over me. You are my parents and you've done a lot for me. And the Bible says to honor your parents and all will go well with you. So I just want to honor you. And I want to be able to like put on the table some things we can talk about. Like, why do you guys think it's bad for me to do this? And let's just talk about it openly. I'm not going to get offended. I'm not going to get worried. I'm not going to, throw a fit. I just want to understand where you guys are coming from and try to find mutual ground. Like, why can't 16-year-olds normalize that kind of conversation?
It's maturity.
Honestly, it is. That will set you up for so much more success in your relationships with anyone.
No doubt.
When you start with that, with your parents.
It's maturity, and I guarantee you, any parent who has a kid that's like that mature, that can steward a relationship with them in that way, is gonna have a lot more trust for a teen to potentially date or steward a relationship, not with them. So if you could steward, I love this, JD, if you could steward the honoring of your parents, the relationship with your parents, on this same topic, teens will ask me all the time, like, is it okay to get a tattoo or not? You know what my answer always is? I'm not going to tell you what I think about what the Bible says on if I should have a tattoo or not. Obviously, I think a certain way about it. But my answer to teens is, what do your parents think? Oftentimes, they'll come back to me and say, well, what does it matter what my parents think? I'm 16 years old. It's like,
Imagine
no.
being 16
Listen,
and thinking you can do anything.
Listen, there's no, this is a revelation that hit me, okay? There is no expiration date in the Bible on honoring your parents.
Yeah.
It's
Huge.
not, I'm 18. I have a driver's license now. I don't have to
Huge.
honor my parents. I'm in college now. I don't have to honor my parents. I'm married now. I don't have to honor my parents. I have my own kids now. I don't have to honor my parents. No, honor your freaking parents from the day you're born to the day you die, and it will be well with you,
like
the Bible
that's
says.
a promise.
There's a promise.
That's a promise attached.
So in relationships, stop arguing with your parents about whether or not you can date. Just honor them.
Yeah.
Be mature, have conversations, steward that relationship with your parents, and then allow God to open your heart for the right timing with a relationship with someone else.
And it's not an extreme where, like, if they say no, then that means I'm never gonna talk to you guys again. I'm never gonna respect you again, and I'll never be able to experience this in my life again. What that means is that there's just not enough trust built up. And trust is easy to build up. It just takes a little bit of time. But if you're patient and you're like, okay, you know what? Like, the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing. So you know what? I'm going to take this as this is not the right time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to chill. I'm going to trust, and I'm going to honor you guys. And let's work together on this. Let's figure this out together. Help me, call me out on things that I can improve on, and things that you notice in me that I could grow in. And then let's get it. And boom, you have so much more time in your life to enjoy, you know. And I think about this personally because my little brother, Roman, most of you guys would know him. He's, 15? I can't even remember. I think he's 15 right now.
15, yeah.
And when I was 15, what my life looked like at 15 is completely different than what his life looks like right now because
your parents didn't trust you.
I was a rebel. I was crazy. I wanted to do my own thing. I did not respect my parents at the time. I just was throwing fits. He's so respectable and honoring that he gets all of these things.
And he learned from your mistakes.
Access. Yeah,
as
he
a
learned
big
from my
brother,
mistakes,
right?
100%.
That's cool.
And so, it's very clear to me that, I wish I could have been like Roman when I was 15, you know? And so we just got to be able to, be mature. We got to see our parents as this is a relationship. I'm going to trust you guys. God put you in my life for a reason. I'm going to trust you, and all will go well with us.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
huge. Guys, that's already 22 minutes, 22 minutes and 30 seconds. We're almost at 23
We're
minutes.
almost at our 23 minutes.
Do we want part 2 of this maybe?
Yeah, maybe we continue this.
Relationships?
I think we should continue this. This is a big topic.
I don't know.
I think we should continue it. Hey, to recap the last couple seconds of this.
Please.
Listen, timing is everything.
Yeah.
So trust God. Okay? The next part is to steward the relationships you have.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to dig more into this, but honor your parents.
Yeah.
And all will be well with you.
And also ask yourself, who is your source?
Yeah.
What is your intention when it comes to a relationship? And who are you getting your confidence from, your security from, all of that stuff? So that's it for us. 23 minutes. We might do another, we might extend this to another week. Who knows? We don't know. But regardless, we love you guys, and we will see you next week.